When Jackery reached out and offered to send me their brand new HomePower 3600 plus power station, of course I said yes. So Mason here has a sensitive stomach. He's allergic to a lot of dog foods out there. So typically when I'm on the road, I bring my Instapot, and this way I'm able to make his dog food. I've never seen anything like these before. These are bifacial panels. That means there's solar panels on both sides. We're gonna get back on the app here and we're gonna lower and customize the amount of watts that we're gonna charge by. So instead of having it way up here, let's say 700 watts, you can plug it into your RV and run everything on the RV, which is ideal. Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry if you're new. I'm currently camping out here, or boondocking out here near the Hoover Dam in Lake Mead, just out in the middle of the desert. And for those of you that don't know what boondocking is, it's where you come out and you just camp out in the wild. You don't have any kind of hookups, no power, no water, no sewage. For me, it makes it that much more fun to be able to survive basically on my own, bring my own power sources, my own water, and just be out here away from everybody else and just enjoy nature. And anyways, that's what I'm doing out here. I'm currently actually on day one of a 4,000 mile road trip. I'm heading all the way up towards Canada and then heading back down south to Texas and then over to Arizona, and just making a big loop around the country and going to see some beautiful parts of the country in between. Got a couple of events to go to. So if that is something that you'd be interested in checking out, go ahead and follow me and my two dogs, Mason and Marty, and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss an episode of that. When Jackery reached out and offered to send me their brand new HomePower 3600 plus power station, of course I said yes, but I wasn't sure what to expect. I've never owned a Jackery power station before. Now that I've been using it and testing it out the last couple weeks, now I know why Jackery is one of the top dogs when it comes to portable power stations, because I am thoroughly impressed with this thing. So this power station here is the newest member of the Jackery Essential Home Backup line. It's the HomePower 3600 Plus. It's designed specifically for modern households of 3 to 6 people, combining power, safety, and portability in one complete home backup package. This power station has 3,584 watt hours of battery capacity and is also expandable up to 21,000 watt hours with the optional expansion batteries, which can run your fridge for a family of 3 up to 14 days during power outages. So the key features of this power station is the big power and even bigger capacity. It has a 3,600 watt pure sine wave inverter for sensitive electronics, ultra low discharge with their exclusive zero drain technology, meaning if you have a power station sitting in your basement or garage waiting for a power outage, it minimizes self-discharge to under 5% per year, so there's no need for routine maintenance recharges. This power station will be ready to use when you need it. It also has a UPS, or uninterrupted power source, which will switch power over to your essential devices such as your computer, modem, or medical devices in less than 10 milliseconds without interruption. This thing is built to last with the capabilities of being recharged 6,000 times, which will last you 10 years. Definitely worth buying a quality brand like Jackery, because when you need a portable power source like this, you'll want to make sure it works. So about here in the desert, I'm going to show you how and why I use a product like this. But first, let's do a little walk around and I'll show you how this thing works. Simple. You have your power button, just hold it down, turn it on, hold it down, turn it off. You have your LCD screen, as simple as it can be. You have your input side and your output side. So if we were charging it somehow via solar panels or shore power, it would show a number over here. This is the percentage of the battery, so we're 92% full. And then right now I'm using 121 watts to charge my laptop and tablet. So if we continued running it this way, it would go for 21.5 hours. As you see over here, this is my laptop charger and this is my tablet charger. These are your USB-C 100 watt max, these two right here. And then down below is your USB-A 18 watt max, which is what I currently have my tablet plugged into. If you want to turn these on, you just hit that USB button right there. This right here will turn on and off your 120 volt outlets. Also, it will turn on and off your 30 amp plug, which is great for plugging in your RV. Also, when you purchase this, it's going to come with your 120 plug right here, all nice with a nice little keeper to keep it all wrapped up. And then it will come with your user manual, very detailed, easy to read. Definitely something to hang on to. Over here on the side, we have your AC expansion port. You have AC output resets in case you trip something. You have your DC input barrel plugs for your solar panels. You have your AC 100 volt to 120 volt, 15 amps. So this is where you plug in your power cable if you want to plug it into shore power to charge it up. And then right here is your DC expansion port. Looks like there's some cooling vents along the side, but other than that, very clean. You can see the wheels here, very nice and rugged wheels. So pretty nice to be able to tote this thing around. And of course, with the wheels, my favorite part is this handle. It's like a suitcase handle. It comes up, very easy to use. So this thing is so easy to haul around with you. I have smaller power stations that a lot of times I will grab because they're easy and convenient to grab and haul around with you. But I'll tell you what, for such a good sized power station, something that's going to last you a while, for power if you're out camping, this is awesome and convenient as well with the wheels and the suitcase handle. Just easy to grab and pull out of the vehicle and wheel it over to wherever you need it. It's so easy to use. And then over here on this side, you have another cooling vent. Very large louvers, let a lot of cool air in, keep this thing running nice and cool. It's very simple, not a lot to it, which I love. I just love the simplicity of it, and it's just nice and clean and rugged. The handles right here are very nice. They don't feel like they're going to break when you're carrying this thing around. They just really put some build quality into this, and I'm honestly impressed. So for those of you who follow the channel, you might know that this is quite possibly the most powerful truck camper in the world. I have 2,680 watts of solar on the roof. I have another 1,000 on my trailer, and that's all going into 1,200 watts of Big Beard batteries here inside the cab of the camper. And I also have another 9 kilowatts of power out in the trailer. So I typically don't have a lot of issues with power, but just because I have a lot of power doesn't mean that it's unlimited. I run an air conditioning a lot, especially when I'm out here in the desert and in the southern states. This air conditioner will run all the time. Right now, I'm only sitting about 55%, which isn't a lot. I woke up this morning to about 34% battery because I had to run the AC all night long. And I do have things that I need to do that require high draw power that I don't want to take away from this, because this is trying to charge right now. And if I was to use high energy devices, I wouldn't be charging during the day when I need the sun to be charging up. So during the day, I try to use power stations and stuff to keep the power usage for my camper down to a minimum, so I can try to get back to 100% by the end of the day. So Mason here has a sensitive stomach. He's allergic to a lot of dog foods out there, and I could buy an expensive veterinarian brand dog food for sensitive stomachs, but I've tried quite a few. He doesn't seem to like them. Of course, he's got to eat, and being on the road, it just makes it that much more difficult to get him to eat any kind of food without changing it all the time. So typically when I'm on the road, I bring my Instapot, and this way I'm able to bring frozen meats, frozen vegetables, rice, stuff like that, that I can make his dog food as simple as possible, so it has the nutrients that he needs and nothing that he's allergic to. The Instapot, as you know, if you might not know, does use a lot of wattage. So this is something that I will run off of a power station during the day, and just to try to keep from drawing any more off of the RV. And I'll show you real quick, kind of throw everything in there. We'll turn this on, and I'll show you how much wattage that uses. Okay, so this dog food is very easy to make, especially with an Instapot. After I learned how to do it in this, total game changer. But just go ahead and throw a couple pounds of hamburger in there. Throw some frozen chicken in, which the Instapot will cook it, so I just throw it in there like that. I got my mixed vegetables, carrots, green beans, and sweet potatoes. And then I just throw a little bit more than a handful of rice in there, brown organic rice. Then dump a bottle of water in, make sure everything gets all wet. So that's that. Looks delicious, good enough that I would eat it. Throw the lid on, make sure we're set to seal and not vent. And then we'll come down here and just click pressure cook. I always turn the keep warm off because I want it to cool down as soon as it's done. It'll run for about 35 minutes. And let's see what this does over here. Immediately jumps up to about 1,000 watts. It says, let's see, it's adjusting It'll run for about 3.5 hours, which we only need 30 minutes of that, so that's not going to be a big deal for this power station at all. And we just wait for it to cook. Okay, so while that's running at 1,000 watts, I just so happen to have a space heater as well. So let's go ahead and plug this in. Not that I want to heat it up in here, but let's just go ahead and push that inverter a little bit more to its limits and see how it handles. All right, we'll go ahead and plug this space heater in right there. Set it to 80 degrees. That's gonna jump up now. We're over 2,000 watts. Look at that, not even struggling. 2,500 watts with the heater and the Instapot going, and it's not even struggling. It's saying if I was to run everything like this, if I was gonna keep cooking and run the heater, which is 1,500 watts, that's a lot. It's gonna run for an hour and a half, and that's with us sitting at 88%. So that's actually pretty good. That's a lot of wattage to be used. These are going to be some very high draw devices. If you're going to plug in anything like a TV or refrigerator, obviously it's not going to use as much watts. I'm just trying to like kind of push it to the limit here. Okay, outside the RV here, and I don't necessarily need it plugged in right now, but I just want to show that you can plug it in. I just have my 30 amp cord running down, and it is plugged in right here into the 30 amp plug that's on this thing, and we're drawing, I don't know if you can see that, 1,000 watts, and it says it'll run for 2.8 hours, charging it up at that. So if you're not using a high draw item like an air conditioner, and you just want, let's say, to power your refrigerator in your camper, or a toaster, your TV, charge phones, things like that, you want the outlets inside your camper to work, this is perfect. You can just set it outside, plug in your 30 amp plug, and then all your outlets on the inside of the camper will work. It'll also charge your house batteries inside. Like I said, mine is a little bit different scenario. I would only maybe use it in this situation if I just need a little bit of extra boost power, if my batteries are just getting too close to dead before the sun is going down. But I just wanted to show that you can plug it into your RV and run everything on the RV, which is ideal. My old camper, this would have been perfect for that. Now if I go inside here and go to my multi-plus, it's assisting, so it's using the solar plus the power station outside. But if I want the input current to be more, let's say I want to jump it up to 30 amps. Let's see what outside, what it looks like. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's 3,296 watts, and she's cooking. Actually, oh, I see the lights flickering. I gotta kind of hold my hand weird, but you kind of see it pulling 3,290 watts, 3,300, and she's just chugging right along. The fans are on over here, but you can barely even hear them. You guys might be hearing the AC up on the roof, but I can hear the fan right here, and you can just barely hear it. It's ultra quiet. I like that. Now, if we want to keep it running a little bit longer, I have some solar panels here from Jackery as well. We'll go ahead and set them out. It's plenty sunny out, so hopefully we can get some wattage to come in, help this run even longer to power the RV. So these solar panels, I've never seen anything like this before. These are bifacial panels, so that means there's solar panels on both sides. So you can lay these panels out like this. They're meant to reflect sun from the bottom as well from the top. You can set them up. Right now it's off and on breezy, so I don't want to run the risk of them falling over, although these are actually quite rigid and seem like they would survive a couple falls, but I just don't want to run the risk of that right now. Go ahead and just plug this Anderson style plug in like this, and then you got the barrel plug that's going to go in the side of the power station right there. Just gonna plug it in right there like that. It's easy for me to see, it's just hard for you guys to see. So we're bringing in 284 watts right there, and we're still using about 3,300 watts. So that's just gonna make it run a little bit longer. Also, when we're not drawing such a huge draw, it will charge the power station up, which we're gonna do here shortly. I'm just gonna run that down a little bit more before we start charging it back up, just so you get an idea of how long it takes to charge this stuff up. So, so far with it being out in this heat, I mean, it has gotta be almost 100 degrees out here right now. It's just chugging right along. Fan's cooling it down. Solar panels are working great. And yeah, let's just keep it running for a little bit longer. All right, now that we got it down to 20%, we're gonna go ahead and get this thing charged back up using the power cord. I'm going to try using the generator. Now this is probably one of my favorite features of this device. There is an app for this. It's pretty easy to use. It shows your percentage right there, your input, output. You can turn on the DC, AC, the screen time. But I'll show you what my favorite feature is. If you go up here and you go down to charge settings, you have fast charging, quiet charging, and here's my favorite part, customizable charging. So right now I have it set to 1,000 watts. This generator is a 1400, but it doesn't really work well at 1400. In fact, it trips the breaker. So in order for me to be able to charge this off of that, I can't have it in turbo mode, and silent mode just isn't quite fast enough. So to be able to get on here and adjust it and customize exactly the amount of watts, I mean, I can do, if you can see, all the way up to 1700 and down to 100 watts. So depending on if you have an outlet that say is quite overloaded, you're not in a hurry to charge it up, but you do want to charge it up, you can definitely lower it down to what works for you. Right now we're going to set it at 800 watts just to make sure that this thing's going to run and not die on me, because it's kind of a piece of junk. So let's go ahead and get it started up and see if we can get this thing charging. Plug it in right here to the AC port. We'll take this, plug it into that. If you can hear me, we're sitting at 800 watts. You can see that it's trying to charge, but that thing is not doing very good. So let's go ahead and turn this down to say 600 watts. There we go. That thing's running smooth now. And you can see it's charging at 595. So that's when this feature on the app is just, it works awesome. Now I already kind of showed you these being the charging while it was plugged into the camper, but we're just gonna go ahead and see right now. We got some pretty good sun. We're gonna see how long this would take to charge. I believe these are 400 watt panels. So I have the generator unplugged. I'm gonna go ahead and just plug this into the barrel plug here on the side. Again, these don't flash in person, just the camera makes them flash every once in a while. All right, so we're pulling about 158 watts. Not the best right now. Let me see if maybe tilting these up some. It is getting later in the day. All right, so now I have them setting up like this. Let's see if we get any more watts coming in. Oh yeah, we got 279 coming in. Take 11 hours to charge up. But again, I feel like this would go up more if it was in the middle of the day. So if you're gonna charge this up throughout the middle of the day, it probably wouldn't take long. But we are sitting at 20%. That's pretty low. And for such a big battery bank like this, I feel like 11 hours honestly isn't that bad at 300 watts. Obviously, you can throw in some more solar up to 1,000 watts to charge this up, and that would get it charged up pretty quick. Okay, and finally, we're gonna go ahead and try charging it on just a regular wall outlet like you'd have in your house or RV or something like that. Since I'm making power from solar, I can spare a little bit of power to charge this up with just plugging it into an outlet. But because I have my AC and fridge and other things going, we're gonna get back on the app here and we're gonna lower and customize the amount of watts that we're gonna charge by. So instead of having it way up here maxed out at like a fast charging mode, I'm just gonna take it down to, let's say 700 watts. So that way we don't overload the system. It has nothing to do with the power station. It just has everything to do with the fact that I have a lot of stuff running at the moment. But we'll go ahead, plug this in, and we'll see what happens here. All right, there you see. Charging about 700 watts. And if I was to just leave it in here and charge at 700 watts, it would take 4.5 hours. So obviously if I was charging at 1,300 watts, it would take half that time, 2 hours. So this thing, for the size of power station it is, that is insanely fast. I'm very impressed with this thing. I'm not going to charge it up with the outlet right here. I'm probably just going to charge it up with solar tomorrow, but I just wanted to show you guys how that worked. All right, well, I think I covered just about everything. If you do have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. I'll do my best to reply to them. I will put any links, discounts, anything like that down below in the description. I'll also pin them to the first comment in the comment section. I want to thank Jackery for sponsoring this video and for this upcoming trip. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Thanks, bye.